the land of the rising sun. Ndane kuma kahabo. Ndi Biafra. Umu Jacob. Israel na Africa. Na the Gulf of Guinea. Hey! Biafra is sure. His Excellency Mazi Simon Eba Joko, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic. Omogina Nabata in Europe. I ain't asking no. Oh, but you're being Biafra. Onye Nkunku akwa ụmụ Biafra. Ọ tụgharịrị nke Biafra. Anụ nkankampi. Mmejiri gbago onye ire asị na ọ dịrọ nkọ. Oche na mmụọ. Ọ dị nkankamire. Umene Fulani, the end of Nigeria. You are the Joshua of Biafra. You are leading us to the promised land. Biafra government in exile. The cabinet members of the government in exile. The de facto government in the homeland. Anyị si unu jisi ike o. Ọ ga-abara unu. Ọbụnagodo onye isi na-afụ ụzọ na-afụ mbọ unu na-agba. Jisi ike n'ọrụ. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Okukalo, Ohamadike one of Biafra, Dike Ana Ogunanya, the Black Messiah. Okukubara Nigeria n'olu, Kelo Abusobu, Kabupo. The symbol of African freedom. The world's living apostle of truth. Nigerian prison cannot break your spirit. You are the Moses of Biafra. We remember our eternal leader, Dim Chukwemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. He came by Newi. Esi Gbogburu. You died, but your spirit is fighting for your children. You are our godfather, the Abraham of Biafra. We cannot forget you, our own. Philip Effiong, Onu Baranyalfa, the one that gave us our name. You are dead, but your spirits are alive. I think I will go Onwula na Biafra, the promised land. Anyị ga-adị ndụ wee bụ Biafra. Anyị ekene Chukwu ọbasi nke igwe onye edu anyị ala n'ala ahụ ekwere anyị na nkwa. Anyị ga-agba egwu ọnwụ wee na nwayọ nwayọ were nwayọ gbara m egwu a. Aha aha abịa egwu abịa yọ egwu onye gbalịrị ọka ya ekwe n'isi egwu anyị ji ana. Aha 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 weli ya na-aga ogbobi ana m anụ ya. Ụmụ Biafra na-enwe ọṅụ, ụmụ Israel na-enwe ọṅụ. Ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana, ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana. Na so anyị ala, ụmụ Biafra n'ala, anyị na-ala n'ala nsọ. Ngwanụ ka anyị lawa. Aka kpuchi ọnwa aka kpuchi ọnwa. We are unstoppable. We are indefatigable. Ebe anyị na-ala bụ obodo ọma. The 14 states of Biafra. Ngwanụ anyị ana. Ihe Chidere odego ya. Chidere anyị Biafra. Anyị alawala. Ma ndị nọ n'obodo oyibo, ma ndị nọ na Naịjirịa, ma ndị nọ na mba ụwa ọzọ dị iche iche. Obi kadawala. Ọ na-akpanyụ n'ugwu na ndịda. Oge ụnụ anyị erugo. Webe ọṅụ, webe ọṅụ, webe ọṅụ. Eluigwe na-enwe ọṅụ. Aha anyị apụọ, anyị apụọ. Ana m anụ ya. Na so gbaa ya agba, gbaa ya agba, gbaa ya agba, gbaa ya agba. Shuka. Nwayọ 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 nwayọ. Na so we dey do am. Papa jiri ya nwayọ. Mama gbara m egwu a. Nwayọ. Ụmụaka, ụmụ Biafra, ụmụ ọma. Anyị ana-anụ. Anyị ana-anụ. N'obodo ọma ahụ, obodo ekwere anyị na nkwa. Ekene otito dị n'ọbasi nke igwe. Eze Chineke abịa m ụra. Onye na-etinye ụzọ ebe ụzọ na-adịghị. Odumala. Biafra, omen, ụna.
Onye duru anyị wee bịa njem na Amerịka. Anyị bịa ka ebe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a. Bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo n'eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu. Ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu. Anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị were obi ọcha na obi udo wee nabata anyị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma. Anyị na-asị na ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ bịa mere ka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya. N'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ, nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ. Ihe anyị na-ekwu. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ. Anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra. Anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị, onye ahụ agaghị adị. Anyị anaghị asị emebere ugo obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe. Anyị na-asị na nkụ ga-ekwe ọ ga-ede ọ ga-anwụ. Ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi. Anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu ji ide eziokwu aka, n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ, ọ bụghị okwu asị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma. Anyị ga-ahụ echi, n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ. Anyị na-arịọ Chukwu okike abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ, nye anyị ahụ isi ike, nye anyị ngọzi nke ya, nye anyị ịhụnanya. Ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị, wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka, wee zọpụta anyị na akpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra. Anyị na-asị na ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsị ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na-eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị
Amadike Biafra.
We are going to do wonders. I want you all to understand that we are in a very big battle. Battle for freedom is not for lily-livered people. It's not for kids. Battle for freedom, they throw bombs, rockets for people to get freedom. So freedom is not meant for people that are too emotional. It's not meant for people that somebody will talk this and talk that and they begin to shiver. No. I am born for Biafra to come. And I'm going to help Mazinam Dikano to get Biafra. Believe me. Go and mark today's date. I want to assure Biafrans, so long as you continue to stand on your freedom, I will be there for you. So long as you continue to maintain that you have a right to live, I, Simon Ekpa, will be there. Any day, anytime.
This is the Biafra national anthem.
7 rows, 14 rows, 21 rows. I love to go. Man, beat.
Biafra will come. You either allow us to go in peace or you are going to remain pieces and Biafra will still go. I come that Nigeria will end. I come that there will end the Usman Danfodio legacy. That legacy that every time they will be talking about Usman Danfodio, you will think that Usman Danfodio manufactured the aeroplane. You would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured a car or he invented one Ihela machine or something like that. No. Usman Danfodio have a legacy for killing northern Nigeria, for killing Hausas, conquering them and turn them into what you see today, Hausa Fulani. That is the legacy that Usman Danfodio brought to northern Nigeria. And today, they have Usman Danfodio University. That is what they continue that particular legacy. That is the reason why the Fulanis are killing innocent Christians in the northern Nigeria and the middle belt. It is to continue the Usman Danfodio legacy, and I am here to end it. I will end it. The end of Usman Danfodio legacy will start from this year. I am telling you, go and mark it. It will start from December 2nd. Once we exit Nigeria, that legacy is gone, completely gone, because they will not have any other place to conquer. Is it us that you are going to cross our border to come and start saying you want to conquer Biafra? We did not conquer us when we were in Nigeria. It's not going to be possible.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you're watching from, remember today of our lockdown in Biafra land. The lockdown, which is meant to be the total delegitimization of the zoological republic called Nigeria. The delegitimization is entering the tougher stage. As the day draws closer, so tough it becomes. And we will continue until we exit the zoo completely. Wherever you are in Biafran territory, you must pay attention to what is happening. You must not get distracted. The Zoological Republic governments have increased in their propaganda and blackmail. Wherever you are watching this program from, you must be very careful. Do not pay attention to the blackmail of the Zoological Republic. They are going to come with all manner of blackmail. They are going to come with all manner of propaganda. But I urge you in the name of Chukwuka Gabian, do not get distracted. Do not be deceived. Do not allow anybody to cajole you into betrayal. It is going to be tough. But at the end of the day, Biafra will win because we are already winning. And because we are winning, that is why we are not afraid of their blackmail. We are not afraid of their lies. We are not afraid of their propaganda. We are not afraid of all the evil talk they are talking. And everybody that is a Biafra have been urged to stay consistent and continue to do what you have to do to protect yourself wherever you are. Try as much as possible to keep yourself away from the face of the enemy. Try as much as you can to secure yourself and make sure you do not fall into the hand of the Zoological Republic terrorists. Anywhere you see them, run for your life. Don't go and stand and say because you are not Liberation Army, they will not come after you. Don't see them and you say because you are not member of IPOB, they will not come after you. They do not have distinction. Once they are coming, anybody they see in Biafra land is an enemy to them. As they take you as an enemy, you must take them as your enemy. Any place you see the Zoological Republic terrorists Run. Don't go close to them. This warning has been coming, and it will continue to come, because they have been discharged to Biafra land to come and commit havoc. And the earlier you understand this, the better for you. Every one of us must learn to stay away from these evil men and women. We must learn to stay away from these criminals. They have been employed, they have been brought to go against us, and we will continue to decimate them wherever they are. Yesterday, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, was on Twitter Space where he gave us briefing. I am going to play the briefing once again today for some of us who were not opportune to be on that program, to be able to connect and know what is going on. A lot of things are going on, and we must pay attention. Do not allow yourself to be deceived. Do not follow their propaganda. Don't listen to their blackmail. They are going to come from all angles, from all corners. They are going to do everything they can to see that they distract us. But as long as you are a genuine Biafran, you must not allow yourself to be distracted. You must not allow them to use you as a scapegoat. The enemies we know and we have seen are not giving up. They are going to do everything possible to see that they perpetrate their evil act. It is left for us, the Biafran people, to stand our ground and refuse to bow, because our freedom must come. The freedom that we have, we cannot give up for anybody. The freedom that we have, we cannot live out of fear. We will continue to pursue our freedom. We will continue to follow up our freedom until we are completely free from the Zoological Republic. I urge every one of us in this platform today, wherever you are watching from, please pay attention. Put your heart, your mind, your soul together. Don't get distracted. Do not allow anyone to distract you. Don't allow anything to distract you. Whenever you see an atom of distraction, do not bow to it. Know that you have a responsibility to defend your father's land. You have a responsibility to defend the land that Chukwu Okike has given to you. That is what we will do. That is what we have signed up for. And we will make sure that our land is protected and defended. So my fellow Biafrans that are watching this program, wherever you are watching from, a lot of things are going on. And we must not allow the enemy to succeed. They can come from all angles. They can come from all corners with all manner of propaganda and blackmail. We must not allow them to succeed. The propaganda of the enemies will increase. They have already started. And you know, each time they begin to come out from all corners and all angles, you know that the time is near. Each time you hear them speaking from all sides, you know that the time is close. We cannot afford to allow these criminals to raise their ugly head again. Freedom is not something you get through play. If you want freedom, you must be prepared for it. If you want freedom, you must be ready to fight for it. And that is why we are asking everybody, wherever you are, you must stand up for your freedom. The time is now. There is no time to play around. There is no time for jokes. We are in a serious moment, the moment of truth. Every Biafran that is watching this program, please like and share. Make sure you invite somebody in this program, because information is power. We must continue to share informations. We must continue to share details. We must continue to tell the world what is going on. It does not matter what they say. It does not matter what they do. The reality is that we will continue to tell the world the truth and nothing but the truth. When they come with their propaganda and blackmail, we must not listen to them. Every one of us must know that freedom does not come easily. Freedom doesn't come cheap. If you want to be free, you have to be ready to fight for it. And for those of you who think you can get freedom by begging, you think you can get freedom by folding your hand, by clapping, or by pretending, I want you to hear this and hear it clear. That if you want to be free, you must be ready to fight. You must be ready to fight to have your freedom. Nobody can dash it to you. You must be ready to fight for your freedom. Nobody will dash you. You fight for it. And that is where we are today. I want you to listen to this, for you to know that freedom is not dashed to people. You fight for it. You hear that? That word is coming from one of the people that have been celebrated as a freedom fighter, Malcolm X. He is saying that freedom, it doesn't come by begging. You need to be ready to engage them. You need to be ready to be fight. You need to be ready to take it to them by force. If you think you will get it by begging or by clowning around, you cannot get it. You cannot. So every one of us must be ready. That is why you see the enemies are fighting today in any way they can, with all their propaganda, with all their lies. You can see the way they are pushing their lies. They can't even hide it. They are lying every blessed day in all their activities. It is always lie and lie and lie and lie. More propaganda is going to come. The only thing we are asking you is you must have to be strong. Do not get distracted. Do not get distracted. Propaganda is going to come. You have not seen propaganda yet. They are still coming. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Secure yourself. Keep yourself safe. And I bet you will be happy and glad that you did. So we are going to try as much as we can to see if we can be able to listen to the broadcast of our Prime Minister yesterday. A lot is going on. The enemies of Biafra are fighting in all angles, in all lanes. But as they continue to fight, we will continue to defeat them. We will continue to defeat them. No matter how they try, no matter the kind of things they put on themselves, no matter the weapon of their warfare, we are going to overcome them and we shall defeat them. The Liberation Army of Biafra are doing what they have to do. They are standing for us and they are fighting the battle that they are supposed to fight. The only thing they need from you is support. They need our support. And wherever you are as a Biafran, you must stand up. You must stand up. You must stand up and prepare yourself. Because this time is not a time where we will fold our hands and continue to watch the enemy, continue to play on our intelligence. I hope you can see this tweet that our Prime Minister shared. The enemies of Biafra, they are not resting. Every day, they are working tirelessly, trying to push one lie or the other. If you can be able to read the tweet that I just shared there, you can hear what he said. The person that posted this thing is somebody that you know. We know that these are the people who have lost it. They can only support evil people like themselves. You saw it there. It is Kanonta that wrote this. He said, Kanonta wrote and said, Simon Ekpa is not a disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. They come from different ideology backgrounds. Nnamdi Kanu seek the total freedom of Biafra. He wants the best of the Southeast, which is why the government can't tolerate him. In contrast, Simon Ekpa is a free agent manipulated by politicians to create chaos in the Southeast. The reason he hasn't been apprehended is that he is being sponsored by those same politicians. You can imagine what somebody is writing. You can imagine what somebody is writing. An idiotic person, people with idiotic mind. Only an idiot will write this kind of a thing. After everything we have seen, somebody will still come out and begin to call Mazi Simon Ekpa an agent. And it is so sad that it is coming from this clown, a brother to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Kanonta, a criminal that sold his brother. You know, as much as we try not to talk about these people, they continue to bring themselves out. We try not to talk about them, but they continue to expose themselves. Just imagine what he wrote. That's Mazi Simon Ekpa is not a disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is not by word. It is not by saying it. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a disciple by his action. He said that Mazi Simon Ekpa came from a different ideology and background. Tell me, this idiot, what is the ideology of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? What is the background of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? What is the ideology of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? The ideology of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is to pursue freedom and get freedom for Biafran sincerely and truthfully. From the last time we saw Mazen Nnamdi Kanu speak, he is still asking for Biafra and he has never stepped back for it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have said that he has nothing to do with anything called politics. In fact, he said begging Nigeria to release him politically is an insult. But these idiots, these clowns, these are the people who were working with Ifeanyi Ubah that is now dead. And every one of them, they should be waiting for their own turn. This unrepentant idiot, look at what he's writing. Nnamdi Kanu seek the total freedom of Biafra. What is Mazi Simon Ekpa seeking? Is Mazi Simon Ekpa seeking the half freedom of Biafra? Come to think of it, when you look at the people who are working, the approach that Mazi Simon Ekpa have taken, there is no human being ever that has taken the approach Mazi Simon Ekpa has taken. He said, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seek the total freedom of Biafra. So Mazi Simon Ekpa is not seeking the total freedom of Biafra. Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has taken the case of Biafra to the highest level, on international level. Today, the lobbying group today are lobbying for Biafra in Washington, D.C. In the past, this idiot called Kanunta was among those who stole $700,000 from Biafran people in the name of going to get agents who are going to speak on behalf of Biafra. They stole $700,000. Did you hear me? $700,000. That is what they stole from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The money that the poor Biafran people collected together. They say they want to go and get this, what do they call it? There's a way they describe it, people who are going to speak on their behalf. But up to this moment, it is only when Mazi Simon came on board that it was the case of Biafra got to Washington, D.C. Every single person our prime minister have approached, they have said it and confessed that nobody, not an organization, not an individual, not as a group, has come to them to speak about the issue of Biafra. It has never happened in the history of Biafra. It only happened in the time of our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And why these people are not ashamed is that every single thing Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing, he is not doing it in the secret. He is doing it in the open. He will do it how he will tell you to go and verify. He will do it and he will tell you to go and verify. Yet, these clowns, these idiots, will come online and begin to disgrace himself. Look at Nnamdi Kanu seeks the total freedom of Biafra. He wants the best for the Southeast, which is why the government can't tolerate him. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu wants the best for Southeast. That is why the government cannot tolerate him. Agreed. What of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Does the government tolerate him? Does the government of Nigeria tolerate Mazi Simon Ekpa? And what do you think that Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing that they don't tolerate him? Today, the only man that have been discussed in their House of Senate, for 1 good week, Senate's plenary was about Mazi Simon Ekpa for 1 week in Nigeria. For 1 good week, every day they were discussing about Mazi Simon Ekpa in their Senate. Did they tolerate him and he giving them sleepless nights? We are there tolerating him and he's giving them sleepless nights. Musa have been crying up and down. Musa have become a media warrior because of Mazi Simon Ekpa. The entire country called Nigeria have gathered together and they wrote petition. They wrote petition against Mazi Simon Ekpa. The whole country. They didn't do it in the secret. It was done in the open. We saw some of them calling the Finland embassy in broad daylight, calling the Minister of External Affairs in Finland. They showed us a video. The news carried it when they were writing petition. So, you think that the Mazi Simon Ekpa was dancing with them and that is why they were writing petition? These are the idiotic fools who tenor have ended, who fraud have ended, their fraud have ended, and they can't control it. The money they are stealing all this while, they can't steal it again. They can no longer steal the money they are stealing, and they cannot hide their shame. He can see open mouth at the people who stole 700. He was among people who stole that 700,000 in the name of going to negotiate for Biafra. Today, nothing was done. It is only in the era of Mazi Samanekwa. And every single lobbying group that Mazi Samanekwa have employed, their address is there. Their names are there. The people are known. You can contact them. You can call them. You can verify. Everything is verifiable. Still, these idiotic people cannot get sense. These idiotic idiots cannot have a common sense. They continue to parade their idiocy everywhere. They continue to parade their stupidity everywhere. How long? How long will these people continue in this their idiotic attitude? How long? How long are they going to continue on this their idiotic attitude? And you think by coming out to write this nonsense, you can convince Biafrans? You think by writing this nonsense, you can convince Biafrans? You can never. There is nothing you can do to convince Biafrans otherwise. Biafran people are smart and wise. But these fools, as shameless as they are, they continue to put their shame in the public. Their shame, they shame themselves. Look at what he's writing. He said, in contrast, Simon Ekpa is a free agent. Just imagine that Simon Ekpa is a free agent. Manipulated by the politicians. Simon Ekpa has given them, if you have any politician he is talking to, bring an evidence and show us. Simon Ekpa himself have challenged you that if any politician has had any call with him or any discussion, let that person come out and say it. Very cheap blackmail that cannot fly across a ceiling. These are the people that sold their own brother. Sold your brother. Today, somebody that is fighting for your brother is the person you are fighting. The person you are fighting is somebody who fought for your brother. Look at what he wrote. The reason he has not been apprehended is that he is being sponsored by those same politicians. Look at an idiot. Look at an idiot. You think someone could be committing a crime in Finland, and then the Finland government will now fool their hands. You have seen the extent that have gone that the Nigeria is trying to cut ties with Finland, and yet this idiot is coming here to write rubbish. I pity those who are following this kind of nonsense. I pity those who are still paying attention. Of course, no Biafran is paying attention to them. That is why once in a while they will come and write rubbish. No matter how we try to forget them and allow them, they continue their nonsense. While he is talking, our prime minister is busy dancing. While they are crying left and right, our prime minister is busy dancing away the time. Let's watch our prime minister while he gives us his great dance. It's so sad that these people will never learn. It's so sad that these people will never learn. It's so sad that these people will never learn. It's so sad that these people. Whatever they throw at us, we will surely overcome them, and we will surely defeat them. Let them continue their propaganda and their blackmails. Let them continue all their idiotic moves. Anyone they throw at us, we will throw it back to them. No matter how they try to stop us, we will not be stopped. No matter how they try to hold us back, we will not allow them. Let them continue. Every plan they have made against us, they will fail. Who made it possible that we should come, will continue to fight for us, and we will defeat them, and defeat them hands down. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching us from, I want you to pay attention. Don't allow anybody to distract you. The message is coming is a true message of the people. No matter their propaganda, no matter their blackmail, we cannot allow them to stop us. No matter how they try, we will not be distracted. They are going to try. Nobody is saying they're not going to try. They are going to try. But the same way they are trying, they will fail. They will definitely fail. Do not allow anybody to distract you. Do not allow anybody to confuse you. I want us to listen to the broadcast of our Prime Minister yesterday. That broadcast was amazing. And it is important that we replay it so that everybody will listen and hear from our Prime Minister once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Biafrans all over the world. Good evening, the members of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile and the Biafra de facto government in homeland. Good evening, press people, ladies and gentlemen of the press that are seated here also to listen to me this evening on emergency space tonight. I want to thank the entire Biafrans for their cooperation, their resilience, and of course, the compliance in what we are doing, especially in the delegitimization of the Nigeria in Biafra land. I want everyone to understand as I will go closer to December 2024 convention in Finland, the enemies are panicking and are quaking. I want you also to understand that when a man is denied the right to live, the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. I want every one of you Biafran people to understand that our freedom is indivisible. The chain on any Biafra person today is a chain on all of us. The chain on my people of Biafra is a chain on me. And that's why, for those who are wondering, why do we have all this good life in where we reside on, residing in a different part of the world, and we decide and choose to fight for our people who are back home? It's because the chain on them is also a chain in all of us that are fighting from exile. My fellow Biafrans, today marks the 9th day of the 30-day lockdown of the Nigeria institution within Biafra land. And I want you to understand that we have recorded sources in this phase of the delegitimization that is being enforced by Biafra government. I want everyone to understand that as we approach this December, when they were thinking that what we are doing is joke, and all of a sudden they have come to realize that it's no longer a joke. A lot of propaganda will be flying out there. You may see uprise and upsurge of other many spokespersons coming, springing up from all over Nigeria, from Arewa to the Afronjas. All of them are coming on social media today to tell you who is working for Nigeria government and who is not working for Nigeria government. We've actually passed that particular stage. I am not here to debunk their nonsense propaganda. I'm just here to tell you, Biafrans, that you must stand very strong. As more propagandas will be coming, you must stand very strong. We have been able to nurture you for a day like this. And that is the reason we must all be very tough in our standing firmly for the Biafra freedom. There is no other reason we are doing what we are doing today other than to be free from the Nigeria and the British enslavement. I want every one of you to understand that when the water starts boiling, it becomes very foolish to turn off the heat. The water is boiling, the Nigeria is boiling, and it will be very foolish of you and I, at this point that the water is boiling and Nigeria is boiling, to quench the light. It's very foolish. We will never quench this light. We will never turn off this light and the heat that is making this water to boil. Because our main target and main reason why we put the heat on in the first place is to make the water to boil. Our water is boiling today. We will not off the heat until we are done with why and the reason we put the water to that temperature. My brothers and sisters, my fellow citizens of Biafra, I want you to understand that in the coming days and weeks, a lot will be happening in Biafra land. The legitimization of Nigeria will come with a lot of resistance. We are going to stand very firm to defeat this giant Goliath, which is known as Nigeria. We, as small as we are, in David form, will show the mighty power of God that we worship in the coming weeks. I want you to understand that our aim and objective is to make sure that Nigeria never breaks till December. I told you people a few weeks ago that this particular phase we're entering is a phase where we will never allow Nigeria to break till December declaration. My fellow citizens of Biafra, I want you to understand that those that are falling victims of Nigeria's state terrorism, I want you to understand that every death will be revenged. every death will be avenged by the Biafra government and Biafra forces. Nobody will kill Biafra under this my watch as a Prime Minister of Biafra government, both in the homeland and in exile, and they will live to tell the story. Those who committed these atrocities against Biafra in Ogbaro will be hunted down. The promise I have come to give you today is that those who perpetrated these heinous crimes, the terrorism against our people in Ogbaro, will be hunted down. I want you to go and mark this particular word I'm telling you today. All of them who came to Ogbaro to kill our people in the name of terrorism will be hunted down by the Biafra forces. It's not going to take time. And hopefully, we are going to post them on social media, how we have been able to decimate them in a few days to come. My fellow Biafrans, I have come to tell you this evening that in 21 days that is still remaining, you remember to stay out and stay away from Nigeria facilities. Very, very important. Stay away from any Nigerian. Stay away from secretariat. Stay away from police. Stay away from the terrorist army. Stay away from their checkpoint. This is something that is going to take a lot of time for the delegitimization to completely take effect. It is going to take a lot of time. So if nothing is happening in your area, do not think that we have forgotten your area. The entire Biafra land is sealed as I'm talking to you today. The entire Biafra territory is sealed. And simultaneously, the delegitimization of Nigeria will continue to take place. We will continue to defend our land against Nigerian terrorism. We will continue to defend our women and children against the onslaught and barbarism of the Nigerian state. We will continue to make sure that our women and children will no longer fall a victim of Nigerian terrorism. So I thank you this evening for joining to this particular emergency space briefing where we have come to update you on what is to come and what is happening. My fellow citizens of Biafra, I say again, when a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. The Nigeria state will be met with the exact and equal measure of force that have come to our land to kill our people. You saw what happened yesterday in Ogbaro. They killed our innocent people. Even when they were lying lifelessly on the floor, they had to pour a gasoline and set them ablaze. It is only terrorists that can do that. No trained military, no trained army officer will kill innocent people without gun and set them ablaze. It is the art of terrorism in the highest order. And my fellow Biafrans, I can never sleep until Biafra revenge what happened in Ogbaro yesterday. I swear to God, as a Prime Minister of Biafra, I will never go to sleep until we revenge the killings of the Biafrans in Ogbaro. And of course, as that is happening, we will be telling them how prepared we are to defend our land. I want you to understand that the kind of guerrilla warfare that we are fighting today is the type that nobody has ever seen. And we are going to escalate it until we get to the maximum level that we are looking up to. The declaration of the Biafra restoration of independence that is going to happen this December 2nd is sacrosanct. We are not moving, we are not quaking, we are not stepping back our feet an inch. We will continue to maintain this particular date, and every work we are doing as a government will be channeled to make sure that this date remain and there will be no change, there will be no postponement. The 2nd of December is sacrosanct. And those of you who have the opportunity to be in Finland, you are still having the opportunity to go and register for the convention to be part of this historic day and historic event. My fellow Biafrans, we are making waves all over the world. The Biafra national team of football will be playing the first ever international tournament somewhere in the world. And that place, I will not mention it at this point until the time is right. But just to inform you that the Biafra government has now a national team that comprises of professional football players of Biafra origin, and they will be representing Biafra for the very first time. Biafra will participate in international football tournament. Biafra national team will be unveiled on the first day of this tournament. My fellow Biafrans, those of you that still doubting what we are doing and the resolve to restore the independence of Biafra, we will shock you. I want you to understand that the Biafra Liberation Army and resistance fighters and Biafra Navy and all forces of Biafra are standing very firmly, and they are gallantly defending our land, neutralizing these terrorists that come in the name of Nigeria forces in their different uniforms and categories in our land to kill and maim. Biafra resistance fighters will continue to defend our land against these terrorists. And so, whenever you see the activities of these Biafra defense forces going on, do not panic. They are not there for you. They are there for the enemies that carries gun to kill our people.
You have just heard the message from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. You have just heard him giving a speech, and his word is just the way he said it. Wherever you are in Biafra land, you must be very security conscious at this time. Nothing is going to truncate our freedom. Absolutely nothing will truncate our freedom. We are going to be free. No matter what the enemies are doing, no matter their plans. The only thing you have to do is to be very, very careful. Stay away from arm's way. Do not expose yourself to danger. The Liberation Army of Biafra are everywhere. They are doing their best to make sure that Biafrans are protected. At the same time, you have to do your own part. Don't expose yourself to danger, because we are heading to a time where the only thing that matters is our freedom. As we are drawing very close to that time, the propaganda is going to increase. The blackmail is going to increase. Their lie is going to increase. But in the midst of all that, we will never give up. We will never, ever give up. If anybody tells you that the Biafran people are going to give up, tell them they are joking. We will never give up. The zoo is on the path of destruction. The zoo is on the path of destruction, and there is nothing any man can do to rescue the zoo. If you think you can rescue the zoo, you are wasting your time, because the time has come. The Liberation Army are ready, very much ready, and the time has come.
Campamento.
Biafra will come. You either allow us to go in peace, or you are going to remain pieces and Biafra will still go. I come that Nigeria will end. I come that there will end the Usman Danfodio legacy. That legacy that every time they will be talking about Usman Danfodio, you will think that Usman Danfodio manufactured the aeroplane. You would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured a car, or he invented one inhaler machine or something like that. No. Usman Danfodio have a legacy for killing northern Nigeria, for killing Hausas, conquering them, and turn them into what you see today, Hausa Fulani. That is the legacy that Usman Danfodio brought to northern Nigeria. And today, they have Usman Danfodio University. That is what they continue that particular legacy. That is the reason why the Fulanis are killing innocent Christians in the northern Nigeria and the middle belt. It is to continue the Usman Danfodio legacy, and I am here to end it. I will end it. The end of Usman Danfodio legacy will start from this year. I am telling you, go and mark it. It will start from December 2nd. Once we exit Nigeria, that legacy is gone, completely gone, because they will not have any other place to conquer. Is it us that you are going to cross our border to come and start saying? It's talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we'll question it with gun, we'll question it with bomb, we'll question it with civility, we will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide. The foundation for the liberation and independence of Biafra has been laid by this government, and it is very, very strong. We build this particular foundation of the liberation on solid rock. Are you not seeing it? We are not shaking. I am standing very, very strong, making sure that I'm taking the bullet that they are firing at Biafra people, because their target is you. They believe that once they take Mazen Amdekan out of the way, they will come for all of you. That is exactly what is happening in other parts of Nigeria, because nobody is there to stand on the way for them. And they are annihilating people, killing them, sending them to IDP camp. I told them, you see this face, okay, deceive very well. To deceive you. The momentum of the Biafra liberation today have necessitated all the discussion you see. Everybody is talking. Release Mazen Amdekan. Why are they keeping him? Some of them claim that he was not fighting the way I'm fighting, but you kidnap him. Some of them are now addressing him as a gentleman, but you went and they kidnapped a gentleman. They say, oh, he's more reasonable. He's not... But you kidnap him. What were you thinking? All of them contributed money. When Mazen Amdekan was speaking, it was their headache. They couldn't sleep every day. Oh, Mazen Amdekan, he's destroying Alibo. Oh, Mazen Amdekan, he's doing this, he's doing that. Today, Mazen Amdekan is no longer destroying Alibo. Mazen Amdekan is no longer causing problem. Mazen Amdekan is no longer is the good man. He's the only man now that is very reasonable. And I have not even started, because you see WOTOWOTO, Agaku Nigeria Igwe. Agaku Nigeria Igwe. And you know the next level is by taking all their terrorist barracks, taking all the government houses. That is the next level we will go, because it is part of the defense of our land. These places are places where the attack against our people are being planned.
And this is for the idiotic Kanonda. The idiotic Kanonta who doesn't know his left and right, who sold his own brother. He sold his own brother. And up to today, he has not apologized. He still have the guts to begin to fight against somebody who is standing for his own brother. An idiot. Any place he is, I want him to hear this. This is the word from Mazen Nandekan. This is what Mazen Nandekan has to say.
And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred has continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting, extrajudicially murdering people in our land, people who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We're not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must know what we're doing. And that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this, that we are determined, doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years is a very long time, and 51 years since the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven has determined that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people. We love every ethnic nationality that makes up Nigeria as it is presently constituted. We have no hatred towards anybody. We love peace. We love life. We love the progress of other people. But we are in a country where people hate us for no reason, where people despise us for no reason. And we can no longer go on apologizing. And Nigeria as a state, the entire Africa as a continent must acknowledge. The same way they acknowledge the genocide in Rwanda, they must rise up to acknowledge the genocide in Biafra land, or else there will be no peace nor development in the whole of Africa. And I'm not saying it apologetically. I am stating a fact that ought to be forcefully demanded for. And Biafra itself must be restored for those who have come before us, for their sacrifice, for their courage, for their gallantry and their bravery. It is a very good thing today that one of the co-hosts here is our brother Dele, a man that I cherish and I appreciate very much. And also the very excellent work that Mazi is doing. But let us make this thing very, very clear. We are wronged by the Nigerian state, by every ethnic group in Nigeria. I know that my good friend and brother, Obadiah Mailafia, rang me and apologized a while ago for the role that they played in the massacre of Biafran people, the role that they played in aiding and abating a very unlawful invasion of Biafra land, because all Ojukwu asked for was restructuring. The same thing we are arguing for today. Ojukwu went to Aburi to argue for restructuring. Ojukwu did not go to Aburi to declare any state of Biafra. He never went to Aburi to declare any war. Ojukwu went to Aburi so that all of us in Nigeria, including those from the Middle Belt, from the West, everywhere can have freedom. There's something we're asking for today. They twisted the narratives. They changed our history. They turned it upside down. They made us the villain. They tried to demonize our general, a man of peace that went to Aburi in Accra to go and in Ghana to go and negotiate for peace. A peace that Britain prevailed upon go on, not to implement. But over the years, we've been taught that we are the aggressors. Such nonsense can no longer hold, it can no longer obtain, and that is why, as I said earlier, unapologetically, we are pursuing the freedom of Biafra, and nobody can stop us. Anybody on our path is, and we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And no.
You have heard it from our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Our destination is freedom. This is the person that Kanonta is trying to talk about, that he is not a Mazi Samanapa. This is somebody that that the idiot called himself Kanonta is trying to separate from our Prime Minister Mazi Samanapa. These are one people pursuing one thing, and you can see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is it Kanonta that is now pursuing and following the words that this man spoke here? Is there anything Kanonta is doing today to defend his own family, Instead, he sold his own brother out. And he has the God to come out and talk about a man who has dedicated his life to set everyone free. These are a bunch of jokers. But it doesn't matter how they joke. We are going to win. I appreciate everyone that have been on this program. And I'm going to play some few other words of our Prime Minister, and then we call it a day.
In Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will rise. Today, there are movements all over Africa to liberate Africa from neocolonialism. Biafra will not be exceptional. In 2011, Biafra became a charter member of the Organization of Imagining African State. And in December 2015, the Organization of the Imagining African State called on the Nigeria government to hold a referendum on Biafra self-determination within 90 days, including the option of the total independence as the Republic of Biafra, a transitional phase of not more than 180 days. My fellow Biafrans, it may surprise a lot of people to know that this actually happened. Nigeria ignored it. In 2016, the Organization for Imagining African State repeated the call for referendum as the sponsor of the All Biafran Conference of Accra, which took place in 2016. My fellow Biafrans, in October of 2020, the Organization of Imagining African State repeated its demand for referendum on Biafra self-determination to the government of Nigeria. All these calls were ruthlessly ignored by the Nigeria state. The Organization for Imagining African State, after deliberation, has endorsed the Biafra Republic Government in Exile self-referendum on Biafra for many, many reasons. And one of those reasons, or some of those reasons, are as follows. Nigeria refused to administer or permit a third party to conduct Biafra referendum. The organization also noted that the African Charter of Human and People's Rights guarantees the right to self-determination of everyone, including Biafra people.
My fellow Biafrans, thank you so much for being part of this program from the beginning to the end. We have come to the end of the program, and we are going to continue tomorrow. But before we leave finally, I want to remind everybody the final word that you keep in your heart while you go to bed.
Biafra will come. You either allow us to go in peace, or you are going to remain pieces and Biafra will still go. I come that Nigeria will end. I come that there will end the Usman Danfodio legacy. That legacy that every time they will be talking about Usman Danfodio, you would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured the aeroplane. You would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured a car, or he invented one Ihela machine or something like that. No. Usman Danfodio have a legacy for killing northern Nigeria, for killing Hausas, conquering them, and turn them into what you see today, Hausa Fulani. That is the legacy that Usman Danfodio brought to northern Nigeria. And today, they have Usman Danfodio University. That is what they continue that particular legacy. That is the reason why the Fulanis are killing innocent Christians in the northern Nigeria and the middle belt. It is to continue the Usman Danfodio legacy, and I am here to end it. I will end it. The end of Usman Danfodio legacy will start from this year. I am telling you, go and mark it. It will start from December 2nd. Once we exit Nigeria, that legacy is gone, completely gone, because they will not have any other place to conquer. Is it us that you are going to cross our border to come and start saying you want to conquer Biafra? We did not conquer us when we were in Nigeria. It's not going to be possible.